We're gonna now go over my top 5 picks for the Olympia for both classic physique and open division. Wow, that's gonna feel good. It's heavy. It's hard, but that moves. Feels a lot better. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning into the video. We're gonna now go over my top 5 picks for the Olympia for both classic physique and open division. My 2 main divisions, right? These are the 2 divisions that I follow most closely. I can't really speak on men's physique. It's not like a shot at men's physique or anything. I just can't speak on it because I'm not very familiar with that division at the Olympia level. So let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna basically break down my personal favorite top 5, like what I would like to see happen from like a fan's perspective and a fan of the sport. And then I'm also gonna let you guys know what I think the judges are going to reward, if that makes any sense, and how they're gonna place the top 5 for both classic and open divisions. So let's go ahead and start with classic, you know, the best first. So we have my favorite picks. C-Bum, obviously, I don't think anybody's gonna touch C-Bum as long as he's you know, showing up at 95% or better, 90% or better, he's gonna win every single time, at least for the foreseeable future. So I think that's pretty solidified. And I actually have him as first in my actual pick as well, but we'll get into that in a second. Ramon is gonna be my second. I think he's been battling it out for a long time, and I'd really like to see him at least hold that second place spot from a fan's perspective and show everybody that he wasn't 100% at the Arnold, right? That wasn't 100%. You know, he did get beat by Wesley, but that wasn't everything he had to bring to the table. And I know Chris Aceto is an amazing coach, so I know he can bring him in better. And every coach, you know, they mess up. They mess up here and there. It's how it is. But I really think Ramon has a lot more to offer than we saw at the Arnold Classic. Okay, third for my favorite picks is gonna be Wesley. I just wanna see him up there in the top 3. However, I don't think Wesley at 100% can stand next to and beat C-Bum or Ramon at 100%. I think they're superior from a proportion standpoint. I think they have more complete legs in a lower body than Wesley does. Wesley's a very tall dude, so I totally get it. It's very hard to fill out his lower body. I think he's like 2 inches taller than me or 3 inches taller than me. So, I mean, that's a lot of height. That's a lot of height to fill out, especially with the legs. He has a shorter torso. I have a shorter torso, so I can't imagine being 2-3 inches taller and having to fill out those legs to match up with somebody like C-Bum or Ramon. So I would really like to see Wesley in that 3rd place spot, potentially knocking on the door with Ramon as well, but I just don't think this year he has what it takes to beat Ramon. Upper body, I think he's very, very complete. Just needs a smaller waist, and that's just gonna take time of building out the legs and just maybe a little bit more lat. 4th place for my favorite picks, we have Breon. I would really like to see Breon, you know, consistently place in that top 5 for the next few years. I've heard a lot of rumors saying it's his last year this year, but he's said that for every year in the past 2-3 years, so we don't really know. I think Breon just falls more and more in love with the sport when he thinks he's falling out of love with the sport, so we'll see if he actually, you know, wraps it up after this show, but I think he's gonna get 4th. And 5th is Urs. And this isn't because I don't like Urs. I'm a huge fan of Urs. I look up to Urs a lot. To be completely honest, I just haven't seen any physique updates from him. So how can I tell you what he's gonna place when I haven't seen anything, right? All I saw is that he dyed his hair. So I think it's awesome. I think it's cool, the hype he's bringing into the show. But I would like to see, from a fan's perspective, a little bit more social media presence from him when it comes to his physique, or at least hinting at it here and there, right? So that's what my personal favorite picks are gonna be for the Olympia. Now, how do I think these guys are actually gonna place, right? It's a totally different situation. You know, I think C-Bum's still gonna be 1st. I think Ramon is gonna be 2nd. I think Urs is gonna be 3rd. And then I think Wesley is gonna be 4th. And Breon is gonna be 5th. So pretty similar lineup to what we saw last year, but throwing Wesley into the mix as well. That's what I think the judges are gonna reward, and that's what I personally think is gonna unfold at the Olympia, if that makes any sense. All right, now on to the Open, the big boys. This is the one that I had a little bit harder of a time wrapping my head around because we've seen so many updates from so many people, and everybody looks fucking insane, let's be honest. So let's start with 1st place, Darc. I think Darc has this solidified. I wasn't so sure a couple of weeks ago. You know, I know Darc. I used to work out with Darc. Like, I've seen Darc during prep, and not being in Tampa anymore, it's hard to really like see it and understand it. But once I saw those YouTube videos being, you know, put out the last few weeks, I'm like, holy shit, this bro is on point, and I can confidently say he's going to maintain his title this year as the Open Olympia champion. He's going to be 1st place, and these are my favorite picks, by the way. I want Samson to get 2nd. I want Samson to move up and get that 2nd place spot. He's been putting in the work. He's battled a ton of, I'm sure, mental stress from everything going on with him leaving Milos and his wife coaching him. Yes, I do believe his wife is coaching him. I've heard a lot of, to be honest, derogatory statements about how his wife can't coach him, and I think, to be honest, that's complete bullshit. I think as long as you're educated with pharmacology, diet, and nutrition, and training, as long as your recovery is in a good spot, you can coach anybody in any division. You just have to have the education for it. So I don't think any of these derogatory statements about his wife coaching him and how it's impossible, I think that's, to be honest, a little unfair. And I would like to see him, just because of that, personally, and how much he's had to, you know, battle adversity this year, I'd like to see him in that 2nd place spot. And let's be honest, he's made a fuck ton of improvements. I would really like to see him get that 2nd place spot. 3rd, obviously, we can't forget to put Hadi in that top 3. Personally, I would like to see Hadi in the 3rd place spot, giving Samson that edge. From a fan's perspective, because then you have Darc and Samson, two extremely aesthetic people, two different heights with two different musculatures, right? Battling it out for first and second. And it's really gonna make the Olympia interesting in the next coming years. So that's what I would like to see from a fan's perspective. Let's be honest, Hadi and Darc, they're not similar, but they're similar heights. So what happens is you have these tall guys and you're like, when are these tall guys gonna come in and start messing with the mix? But they're not quite there yet because Hadi and Darc are still taking up those first two spots. So you throw somebody like Andrew or Samson up into the second place and now everything changes, right? And I don't think Hadi has what it takes to beat Darc from what I've seen online. Hadi's gonna have that third place spot. I really wanna see Nick Walker maintain a top 5 placing. He's had a lot of backlash and everything about his hamstring tear and only winning the New York Pro by 1 point. We all know that's bullshit. Yeah, he only won by 1 point, that's a fact, but he wasn't 100%. He tore his hamstring. He's coming back just to qualify for the Olympia. Why would they put all their eggs in one basket for a New York Pro show? That doesn't make any sense. And I personally know Matt Jansen knows what he's doing. Clearly, look at Brett Wilkin just won the Legions and he looked insane. If he can bring that same condition he's known for, the same fullness he's known for, and have that freak factor, I for sure want him to be in the top 5, and I really think he can get that top 5. And then this might upset some people because I've heard a lot of people talking trash about Hunter Labrada, which I don't know why. He's such an amazing dude. He's always been nice to me. He works his ass off. He has an amazing physique. I would really like to see him in the 5th place spot. So for my personal picks, we have Darc, Samson, Hadi, Nick, and then Hunter. And then for the actual picks, what I think the judges are gonna pick, I think it's gonna be more like Darc, obviously. I think he's gonna maintain the spot. I think it's like the new C-bum for the open division. I think it's gonna be a few years until Darc is even challenged for that 1st place spot just because he's so complete from head to toe, front to back. So it's gonna be Darc, Hadi, Samson, Andrew, and then Nick. That's what I think the judges are gonna give. I think the judges still wanna see Nick in that top 5 just because he's battled it out. They really reward people who were having a larger social media presence, especially when going through adversity like he did. I think they're gonna reward that. And he looks insane, let's be honest. Like, he does not look like he skipped a beat, in my opinion. So I think Nick's gonna be 5th, Andrew's gonna be 4th, Samson's gonna be 3rd, Hadi's gonna be 2nd, and Darc's gonna be 1st, and that's from a judge's standpoint. Not what I wanna see, but that's what I think is actually gonna unfold at the Olympia here in a week. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with somebody who wants to hear my predictions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.